You also mentioned that the enemy uses culture, entertainment, and even well-meaning messages like you mentioned to distort the truth. So how
Yeah.
do we recognize that without living in constant fear?
Well, fear is one of the great weapons of the enemy, and there's nothing that he would rather do than have us be afraid of a whole bunch of different things. Like Ted is. Ted's afraid of everything, right?
Have you noticed that? My husband is afraid of nothing,
I'm
just
just joking
nothing.
because I know him well enough I can say that. But we need more Teds. We need more people who are going to live their life and not let just say fear, get out of here. That's a great line that my wife says. Just fear, get out of here. And fear can be something that stalls us. It's a stalemate. It's something that brings about a lack of movement, and it can happen to us spiritually, physically, in so many different ways. And so when Satan utilizes that as a weapon and he plants that, then we start to worry, and worry is a killer. It's a joy killer, and it's a joy buster. And so we have to be very, very
Yeah.
careful that we're not listening to the fear mongers of the world and all this stuff's is going to happen, and the world's coming to an end, and all this. Someday the world is going to come to an end, but it's only when God decides that it's going to come to an end. And so I don't think we really have to worry about that. What we need to do is understand, as you mentioned, there is a spiritual battle going on. Here we are living in the five senses, the see, taste, smell, all that. And then we have this sixth sense that's parallel also, and that's the spiritual sense. And you'll probably have days, Shemaine, I know you do because you're in the Word a lot and praying, and you'll have those days where you really feel close to God and you have this epiphany moment like, wow, and I've heard people say, God showed up today, but God doesn't show up. God is always here. We open up. And when we do that, we experience that sixth dimension for a little bit. And maybe the older we get and the more mature we get spiritually, we spend more time there. But what we need to understand is it's always there. It's right there along with our physical senses. And if we can spend more time, as the Bible says, focusing our eyes on the spiritual than on the physical, then we're going to grow. And in so doing, we're going to become more solid in our relationship with God. We're going to become more grounded. We're not going to have as much fear and worry because we know who's got us. Like that song, Amazing Grace says, I once was lost, but now I'm found.